Welcome to Rich Conversations. We have another fantastic episode here. Cecelia de Orbegoso is here, joining us from London. This is exciting. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's so nice to speak with you, Rich. Thank you.
Why,
So
why don't
happy
you
to be here.
introduce yourself for listeners and viewers?
For everyone that's listening, Rich, I'm sorry for my accent if it's too thick. I'm from Peru, that's why. So my mother tongue is Spanish. I'm currently living in London since the past 4 years. I love this country. And I'm an economist with a huge background in finance. I actually studied a master's in LSE of finance. And I love writing. I love writing about love, relationships, and the question marks love and relationship leave us. So I think that's a like executive
Nice.
summary of what I do.
Yeah, nice. So what brought you to London originally?
Oh my gosh, I just love the city. I think, the first time I came here as a tourist, I just came and said, oh my gosh, I love the city. I was mesmerized by everything. But then I think it's the perfect mix between the all the glamorous and chicness of Paris and the cosmopolitan thing of New York.
Yeah.
So I find like the best match between the both of them. And nothing. And then suddenly, in a point of my life when I was a little bit tired of Lima, a friend of mine told me, "Why don't you come to live to London?" Actually, I was trying to go to live to Mexico. And I know I love that city also. But and a friend told me, "Why don't you come and live to London in London because there is an opening in my job, which was the Peruvian embassy promoting investments for Peru. And you come and you see and yeah." And then I said, "Okay, why not?" And I applied and I got the job and I came. So it was
Wow.
great.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm very curious about London. I haven't been there yet. I've been
Mhm,
to New York and Paris. I feel like I love London. I'm a big Beatles fan, and there's so much history and
mhm.
culture and art that comes out of London. Uh, New York. Well, we'll get into this later when we talk fashion. I'm excited to talk
Okay.
fashion with
Hey,
you.
perfect.
And yeah, that's a good description of it. Like kind of a mix of Paris and New York. I like that
Yes.
description. So what? Okay, so going back to Peru real quick, what's the general vibe of Lima in Peru?
Gosh, it's a really cool place actually. Peru is amazing. The food is insanely, insanely good. Drinks always, and also people are always happy. So it's a nice place to be. But in my case, it's not a nice place to be single. Yeah.
Okay.
So I left the so just like a disclaimer. So I left Lima when I was 27, 28-ish years old.
Okay.
And London is amazing because then you can meet a lot of people. So it's like, for example, South America is a more closed society always, more focused in, which is not wrong. It's amazing, but it was not meant for me, which is more focused in getting married, having kids, a couple of steps that you perhaps don't want to take. No, you
Okay.
don't have to follow that path. And so, in that matter, it's really hard to, in my opinion and my personal experience, to reinvent yourself in that kind of cities.
Okay. Yeah.
But the vibe is amazing. If you haven't been, I really, really, really highly recommend you to go. You will have it a blast.
I like it. I like it. Then what's the general vibe of London then?
Mm, the best thing for me, nobody cares. Nobody cares who you are. Nobody cares what you do. Nobody cares anything. As long as you're true to yourself, it's amazing. You can change your postcode and then you have a new bunch of people you can meet. And also, what I find that everyone is really passionate about what they do because it's a really competitive city, and it's really
Yeah.
hard to live because it's hard and it's competitive and it's not aggressive of New York, but it's also not easy. That everyone is successful in their own field, so you have a lot of people you meet that are amazing as traders, another one as writers, another one as movie producers. So you can find anything. I think in New York will be the same thing. And also, if you want to walk tonight with the hair painted blue, that's amazing, good for you. So that kind of feeling is the thing I like. Nobody cares.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
really interesting comment. So like something I'm curious about with London, I stumbled across the Global Cities Index like a couple of
Okay.
years ago, And it's kind of like the rankings of world cities based on like 30 different areas of criteria. And so they have these like levels and tiers of cities. And there's 2 alpha plus plus cities in the world. I don't know why they have the plus plus and whatever,
Yeah.
but it's New York and London. And
Oh gosh.
so I want to
Okay.
learn more about London. And I was just in New York in November. And that's
Mhm.
something that really struck me. That was probably like the 8th time I've been to New York. But what struck me is just how like no one cares about like it's just you can just be whoever you want and like no one cares.
I love
And
that. Yeah.
people wear what they want, people are who they are. So it's interesting to see that like London kind of has that same vibe.
I feel it a lot here actually, but the thing is like the perception I have in New York, I haven't been there just a couple of times, not as many as you, but it's I think it's a city beautiful, 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 completely trendy. Everything is amazing, but I can find it a little bit aggressive for living, not for visiting. So here in London, what I find, perhaps according to my personality, how I feel comfortable is like I think people here are so polite, so nice. You can walk in the street and you have this feeling that nobody's going to assault you, nobody's going to rob you.
Uh-huh.
No, yes, it happened to me. I left my phone once in a tube in a metro. How do you say it? In a underground? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the train, the subway. Yeah.
Yeah, the train there. The sorry, here is a tube. And somebody called me and said, "I have your phone. Do you need it back?" So that kind of things. I feel like safe living here. You know,
Yeah.
something
I
like
feel
that.
that.
But also the feeling that nobody cares. Oh my gosh, it's so refreshing. So it's nice.
Interesting. Uh, okay, so you're big interested in economics, finance, things like that. What are 3 basic concepts that everyone should know?
Gosh, three basic concepts. Okay. Uh, the first of all, but I'm going to relate them to what I write, which is about relationships and self-love. Is that since we start living, we start dying. I don't know if it's properly said. So you need to consider that you have an opportunity cost. So you need to decide if I'm going to put it completely in the context of relationship. If you're in a situation where you're not happy, you need to acknowledge that it's costing you time and effort and energy that you
Yeah.
can be easily using it for something for yourself, not for someone else, but at least for yourself. So in a different thing that gives you more profit and more value.
So you're
You
saying
know?
that by being objective that death is inevitable eventually, we have
Mm,
limited time, and so you better use that time, especially if you're trying to pursue a relationship. Time is valuable.
what I mean is like I think using the example of the relationship is a really relatable thing for most everyone.
Yeah.
Because at the end, everyone wants to be with someone. So if you ask me about the death and the living, it's like there is for a fact, and I think nobody can say no, that's wrong. Since your first breath is
Yeah.
also one less breath you will have in your life.
Right.
So it's a trade-off, between what you give for what you get.
Yeah.
So if you ask me about the economy and that, I will put in a place like, okay, if you have your time and your time is like it has you don't have endless time, you have a little bit of time.
Right.
So and a little bit of energy. So just decide how you use it. And then also there's another concept important, which is utility curve. So sometimes you have a lot of pain for a little bit of gain.
Wait,
Well,
say that again. Utility curve.
utility curve, yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know the concept officially because I haven't been studying this in years since I was in undergrad school. Um, Philip curve could be something like that, which is like the concept is something that you have utility and then you have something with cost. I don't remember. So the relationship we move between a curve like this
Okay.
the slope is, oh my gosh, I don't know how to say it in English. I'm completely sorry. But I think it's like you need to acknowledge that sometimes you're paying a lot for something that's not going to reward you what you think you need. So perhaps you should interiorize what are you giving for what are you getting in terms of emotions. That's what I try
Okay.
to write about. And then the other thing I was thinking, because I told you opportunity cost, utility cost, and then also there is no such thing as a free meal. Just the basic thing of economics. So I don't try to say that everyone has an agenda, but I think you should have an agenda for yourself in terms of your self-love. No, so don't try to jeopardize the concept you have of yourself just because to please someone else. I don't know if it makes sense. There is something lost in translation. Could it be?
Those are three great ones.
Yeah. But I don't know, the translation is helping.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Do you have any more?
Any what?
Do you have any more concepts off the top of your head that you can apply to relationships?
Gosh, I use a lot of analogies of investments. For example, what is my deal breaker? Am I risk adverse or a risk lover? No, when I invest in someone, for example, when you start dating with someone, it's the same like going to the stock exchange. You can have an amazing day and a lovely trading day where you have a lot of earnings, and then you can have a horrible one. Then suddenly no analyst could procrastinate. So that's more related to investment. But I think those three ones I told you before are going to be my main three, because there was I need to think a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically like that. It's just focus that nothing is free.
Nothing is free. Nothing is free.
Is set in stone.
What's the dating culture like in London?
Oh, there's a lot of dating apps, lots. Well, basically, personally, I've never used Tinder, but I heard a lot of friends that had. I use Hinge, could be. I don't know if in the States it's really popular.
Yeah, Hinge is available, yeah.
And there is another one, Bumble, that I think my friends use a lot in Peru and in Spain. Like in Madrid, Bumble is like completely trendy. I don't know the word.
Yeah.
But the dating, I don't know. I think just people just want to see what's out. It's like supply and demand. Just see what's out. See where do you fit, and if you don't fit, then you swipe and go next.
See, I hear dating in New York is hard because it's like it's ultra competitive. It's ultra like there's so many people. There's so many options. Is it like that in London?
Yeah, there are a lot of options. Obviously, here we have 10 million people living, but it depends on expectations. So what do you expect to get?
What do you want, right? Yeah.
Exactly. If you want nothing, like you just want to have a nice time, like a nice date, amazing. If you just want to have a relationship out of a date, gosh, you're obviously going to be crushed every time you go out. No?
Yeah.
So what do you want?
What do you think about dating apps? I've used them before. I'm now like, I'm not going to use them.
I think I think they're great, to be honest. According to my personality, I think I'm more successful face to face because I'm the worst texter in the world. I never reply a message. I never reply. I'm really bad. I don't know how to use technology, and to be honest, I don't like to text. I hate it.
Yeah.
But face to face, I think I'm really good. That's why I think that's my ego talking. But I have many friends that have told me that for them, dating apps are amazing because they struggle a lot with the dating. With the face to face. If we go to a bar, to a restaurant, and they cannot approach someone, and if they're approached, they don't know how to talk. So the texting is like 2, 3, 4 steps that gets them a little bit more intimate with someone, and then they can be themselves.
Interesting. See, something I don't like about the dating apps is you can't tell a person's body language from it.
Yeah, well, you're right. You just need to go with the flow. You just need to try and see.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay, I have this other question for you. From your photos and what I've known of you, it seems like you're a very fashionable person.
No, thank you.
So I'm curious, do you think fashion is power?
Well, me, yes. But also what I think is more powerful than fashion is confidence.
Okay.
Because you can wear whatever you want. for example, if you see a show I adore, which is the Sex and the City, if you see the outfits of Carrie, like people here are going to kill me, but sometimes they're like, what? But if you were like confidently, it's like, this is me. Hey,
Yeah.
no, here I am. Hello. That's a different thing. I think you can be wearing, as long as it's polished and clean, and you don't have like, I don't know, a hole in the jacket, something like that. I don't know how to say it in English actually, but everything is polished.
Yeah.
And you're completely with a nice attitude and completely self-conscious of yourself, like with a lot of self-esteem. That's the best fashion advice.
So you think if you have confidence, can you wear anything?
Completely. Yes. Yes.
This is something I'm curious about, because I don't think this is something that strikes me when I go to New York.
Mm-hmm.
I don't personally, I don't think the fashion is very good. However, I notice that like everybody's confident, and that's what's really striking to me.
Yeah, I think so the same, because I think it's also linked to this statement we said before, like nobody cares here, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
And it's because you feel so true to yourself that you think, what I think is like, okay, this person really believes that baggy pants and green hair, it's okay. So good for her, good for him. Go ahead, bravo, go sister. But if so, also what I mean is like you need to have this self-esteem and the confidence that you're wearing what is true to yourself, and also that it fits properly. Obviously, that's also a big faux pas of fashion, when things that doesn't fit. For me, that's the worst thing.
Okay.
When you're wearing a size that's not your size, or something is unpolished, that you can see the hem is not well done, that kind of things, or the shoes are not clean, that kind of thing. For
Okay.
schooling men, that kills me. But as long as you're happy and you are really confident that what you picked is a nice thing that represents you, all goes, everything is okay.
Okay. So self-confidence. How does one we're kind of steering into relationships here and potentially pursuing relationships. How does one become more self-confident in themselves?
Oh, that's oh my gosh! If I had an answer, I would be winning the Nobel now. Oh, I think that's a hard work, because we have insecurities. Every single person has a lot of insecurities. My insecurities are not the same that your insecurities and my neighbor insecurities. But it's a hard work, and there's a lot of suffering and like learning episodes with other people, and then you have episodes like you had a relationship with a friend, with a boyfriend. Has to be, sorry for the English, um a love relationship. It can be like a friendship one, and then you have lessons, and life just show you that what my mom says, for example, which is a phrase that I adore: in times of crisis there are two kind of people: the people that sells the how do you say when you cry and you the handkerchiefs,
Uh,
when you cry and you need to clean your tears, you have
wipe your
a
you
little
wipe your tears. You
handkerchief, no,
yeah, handkerchief.
and the one that use them, so you can see which side of the pie you want to be. So either you're an optimist and a person that fights, or either you are a person that's like a victim. So I was telling you, like, I completely forgot about life. It's like you sometimes have lessons, and you just need to learn and take the best of it and go ahead and keep going. But we were talking about something else. I completely forgot.
So with that, you can build and grow your self-confidence is through these
Yeah, but
lessons and choosing to learn from them and grow from them, right?
it's not easy, because you have a lot of insecurities. So it's also important, I think, to have a nice network of friends which are completely reassuring to you, and you need to pick like the best elements. For example, when you have a detox of a person that drinks a lot, just in case, just to put an example, an analogy, he should try not to be with people that are going to induce him to drink more, or her.
Mhm.
No, So it's the same when you're feeling insecure. You cannot be with people that are inducing you to feel you're more insecure. You be with people that reassure you your value and everything. So also, I think I write a lot. You need to have a little bit of a detox of the elements outside your own
Okay.
self that will make you stronger. So,
Do
but
you
it's a
find
personal thing and it's a hard thing and it's a
do
learning
you
lesson.
do you find that writing helps you kind of, like you said, detox?
Yeah, of course. Nowadays, that I write about a lot of more funny things or more like relationship things on the surface, and it's just like this is a funny thing. But when I started, yes, it helped me canalize my pain because I was sad at the time when I started. So I was listening all the stories and also my personal ones, and I was putting it on paper, and it was like, really, really nice. And it flowed. So I'm convinced that the most in pain you are, the most creative you are.
Really?
Personal belief.
Yeah, a lot of great works have been created through enduring pain, it seems like.
Yeah.
Okay, but then what about this? Like if someone is in love, do you think it's then possible for them to do even greater work?
Yes, because love is what make the earth spin. That's what I heard.
What did you say?
The earth spin. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In
Makes the earth
Spanish sounds
spin.
amazing. As I told you, I'm way more clever in Spanish. Um, yes, I think so. Obviously, if you hear every song in the world, almost they are about love. Sometimes
Or
heartbroken,
yeah, or
pain,
like, yeah, getting paid from love.
mostly pain. Yeah.
Well, that's something I'm curious about. Like if a lot of great works and a lot of great writing or whatever creativity can come from pain, like what about love? Is love like this fantastical drug where you can like do your absolute best at everything, or what? I don't know.
I don't know what to say because there's say that people think that there is no love without suffer, but I don't think it's true. The thing is like I think there are two kinds of love. First, yourself,
Okay.
and then when you really love yourself, then you have a lot of love to give to everyone else, and then there's no need to suffer. Wait, this is like Dalai Lama talking, so it's impossible to have like me. I'm not in that level.
Yeah.
I'm just trying that that's the ideal situation.
Okay. You started uh mentioning this earlier, but what are the do's and don'ts of fashion?
Oh, well, I told you before. I do completely. If I'm trying to be more deep and all the stuff, I will say something like, yeah, completely be confident. But also do is to know your body. Yeah.
Okay.
For example, if I'm talking about a girl, which is easier for me, know your body, know your style, and then you can see what things fit and don't. Because you don't need to follow every fashion trend. You just need to follow what is uh, fitable. I don't know if that's a word for you.
Yeah.
You know? And then a thing I recommend my friends a lot is try to set an eye in a not influencer, but for example, in a woman you consider relatable
Mhm.
in terms of look, in terms of style, and try to follow everything what she's wearing. What I mean is like, for example, if you like, I like, for example, a lot Monica Bellucci. For when I want to see my hair, my makeup, so I try
Who do
to
you follow, you
follow.
said?
I love, for example, this Italian girl, Monica Bellucci. Yeah. So I try to see what is wearing. No, not more than wearing. What is it? Her face makeup as her hair is trends. So, and then it's another girl from Peru also that she was always telling me, what should I wear? And say like, okay, you remind me, your style is more like Victoria Beckham. So just follow her and see what is her new haircut, what's her makeup trends. So just pick one that is relatable to you, that you
Okay.
feel you can fit, and try to follow. If you don't know how to do it yourself, you have an easy pattern. She's posting her own self, her own closet, her own everything in an Instagram account, so it's easy. No, so
Interesting.
that's yeah. So I think you need to first define how do you want to look, and then
Mhm.
how if it's possible for you, because in my case, for example, I don't see myself as Victoria Beckham, but my friend was like more likely. So it depends, no? And also, I try to follow that. And the don'ts, oh my gosh, as I told you, a clothes that doesn't fit, just follow a trend just to follow. No, I don't see myself with hoodies. I never had a hoodie. Yes, my master gave
Yeah,
me a
you don't
hoodie.
seem like a hoodie kind
No,
of gal.
zero, zero, zero. And it was really fun because when I received it, I was at LSE studying a master here in London. And I remember the girl from the class coordinator, whatever, she's give me a hoodie. And I told her, like, really naive from my bar, like, oh, yes, this is amazing. Thank you so much. It's my first hoodie ever. And then she looked at me, she told me, I didn't know Peru was so hot. I told her, no, it's not a weather thing. It's I don't like hoodies. No? So I thought she thought like there were no hoodies in Peru because it's so hot. They all were naked in the Andes. I don't know. But no, well, that's another thing. Follow a trend that you think you will fit, and also buy clothes that you will fit. You know?
Yeah.
And then also important. I see a lot.
It's a big one, I can tell.
Go with your age. What I mean is like you can see, for example, me in my own closet, there are a few things pre-pandemic that I used to go for clubbing that today I would say, no way, I will never wear this again because I feel like I'm more in my 30s more than in my 20s.
Mhm.
So I would rather go for a midi skirt instead of a mini skirt. Like, that's kind of things
Yeah.
like, it's not because I think I'm getting older, which I am, and I'm really proud of it, but it's because I think like I will look so much better. I can use a little bit more advantage of my age with a different style that I would do with a previous one.
Okay.
So it's like an age gracefully.
Yeah. Okay. Any other don'ts? I have a few questions after if you have any more.
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay. What do you think about like logos?
In brands?
Yeah.
Brands.
Wearing logos that are seen.
Yeah. First of all, if they're fake, it's a no. Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell what is fake and what is real.
It depends on the eye. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it depends because there are, for example, looking at some, as I don't wear hoodies on tracksuits, and I usually see the logomania in this kind of clothes. So I don't mind. But in handbags, sometimes there are some of the design is so much fun, and they have the Prada thing, and sometimes it's okay. But it depends on the person, I think, because you have this like I don't know if it's the same word in English, sobria, which is like not too not too flashy. I don't know if it's in English the same person, and then you wear like a bag which has a logo, but it's like part of an outfit, and it's okay. But sometimes you can see people that it's everything. It's like they went to the store and literally grabbed the logo and put it in their hair and their forehead. It's like no, too much.
Yeah.
I think it depends.
Okay. What do you think about as far as like trends? Like I notice a lot of young people literally just wear whatever is like trendy. And there's like no like self-awareness at all. It's just like I don't know. It's just like people just buy what's trendy, but what's trendy now is different than what's trendy 5 years ago or what will be trendy in 5 years from now. So like there's like no consciousness about how people are dressing.
Yeah, there's a lot of influence also about social media. No, you can see a lot of this, and also you can see this anxiety of these girls are wearing this, so I want it also. But in my case, for example, I love to buy vintage stuff or high quality things, and they last forever. You cannot imagine the amount of things I have here in London of my mom when she was 25.
Really?
No, so it's amazing, and they're like nice things, nice quality pieces, and they don't age like me. I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of influence about social media that make the impulse of young people to buy whatever is trendy. But I think it's just a way to define what they like and their own style, and then they will find it.
Expression. Would you say, like, how would you define the purpose of fashion?
I think it's a way of self-expression that involves a lot of art, design, architecture, movement. There's a lot of arts involved in fashion because also you live your life in it. But it is a way to say who you are without saying a word.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Certain aspects of your personality.
Yeah.
No.
So what, something I'm curious about is like, well, I guess this question is kind of irrelevant now because it's based on who you follow and what you want to look like per se. But what do fashionable men, in your opinion, wear in London?
High quality pieces, of course. I love, for example, a nice turtleneck cashmere sweater, a nice coat, completely well groomed. Oh, well groomed is so important. Really clean. The word is not loafer. We say in Spanish mocasines, which is not like a loafer, it's not like a trainer. But what I mean is that you can see easily when a guy is well groomed, everything is perfectly done. They have woke up and everything is tidy. I don't know, they smell like a drying machine. Everything is tidy. You have this feeling like everything is clean and polished. Also for me, for example, the hands are really important. No
hands, really?
Yeah.
How so?
Obviously not the size of the hand, but the nails, that they're completely nice cut, not beaten. Beaten is the word. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's really important. Yeah. And a man and a girl. Huh?
Yeah. Why is that? I had one guy recently tell me that he really looks at women's fingernails.
Because it says a lot. In my case, for example, there is a say like, if you don't wear earrings, you can feel like naked in girls. In my case, if I have my nails unpolished, then I feel naked. I have this complex that I want to show my hands.
Really?
You know? And I don't know why, but I feel like if you have not taken a shower, something like that.
Really? What do your hands look like now?
Well, they're a little glittery, festive.
Is that blue?
No, Christmassy. It's like a black with a lot of glitter.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2 days I'm going to get bored, so I have to change it.
How often do you like style your nails?
Once a week.
Once a week. Okay.
Yeah.
They last a week, or like I have no idea.
It depends. It depends. If I'm using my hands a lot, I don't know. I play the piano a lot, so sometimes it's like hard.
Okay.
And also, I don't know. It depends also my mood. No, but
Okay.
if I'm in the street and once for something one breaks, it's like, oh my gosh, no! I try to hide my fingers.
Do you have like fake nails? Do you add fake nails or no?
No, I don't have fake nails. What I do is I put a cover of acrylic in the hairdresser because my nails are really weak. So they like an onion. They have capes, could be. So
Okay.
when a cape gets removed, it gets removed with the enamel, with the color. So then you have a horrible result. So with this this little layer, that's a word, layer. Yeah, that is like lasts longer. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's thicker. A woman stuff, capex is really.
Okay, why do women wear fake nails?
I don't know. I don't like them. I don't like them, and I don't like fake lashes. Gosh, I hate fake lashes. With my whole life. So
yeah, I could see that. I don't like fake eyelashes either, but nice eyelashes make the eyes pop a little bit more too.
No. That's a different thing of nice, beautiful eyelashes, completely curl with a lot of mascara. That's a beautiful thing. But those black stuff that look like a couple of fans, that kills me. And I see here in London a lot of them.
Okay. What do you think about what kind of accessories can men wear?
Man,
that will look
scarves,
good.
gloves.
Okay. See, look at this. See,
people. Okay, I nailed it.
Scarf game. Yeah.
In winter, gloves. In summer, a beautiful linen shirt with some nice alpargatas, padril or leather. I don't know how to say the words in English. I'm so sorry. I know all the vocabulary in Spanish for fashion wear. Some nice sunglasses, and in winter, just polished, clean coat, a nice scarf, a beautiful turtleneck, cashmere one. That's amazing. That's okay.
Yeah. What about
Leave it.
shoes?
Shoes are so important. And it's so hard because sometimes I see people that try to, for example, I had this friend that was showing me, I don't want to say his name because he was going to kill me, but he was showing me these shoes he had. And they were like these horrible purple shoes. And I was like, no, they're horrible. Nobody wears this. And I thought, for you, man, it's so easy. You just need 3-4 pairs, like formal ones, black, brown, more brown. Don't go for the blue weird thing, the purple ones, the cowboy. No. Just go for the same brand and buy 4, and that's it. And you have 2 years of shoes without bothering.
Nice. Well, switching gears a bit, but also in kind of the same direction. What's your favorite drink?
Depends. Oh, you're asking me a hard question now. I love everything. I don't like sweet cocktails too much, so I think my favorite one, if
more
I'm
spirit forward.
Spirit forward. Well, as I'm a Peruvian, I would say that pisco sour is one of my favorite things in the world. I'm always drinking pisco, but my favorite cocktails, I would say it is a dry gin martini, very dirty. I love cosmopolitans. I love Negronis, Moscow mules, and I love having wine when I'm writing.
Okay, what kind of wine?
Red at nights, white in the morning, but I don't like at all sweet ones.
Really?
Okay. The sweet ones.
How do you decide to buy wine?
It depends. If I don't know. To be honest, it's weird because I love drinking it, but I'm not picky. I just pick if I'm asking for a delivery of a grocery, like a supermarket. I just pick a mainstream, not a mainstream, like in the middle range. If I go for a red one, I like order some I don't know, French. If I go like Cabernet Sauvignon, I will try to pick something from South America because in Chile they have nice ones, or in California.
Okay.
And then if I go for white, in Italian or Albariño, which is from Spain, it's also fresh, summery. Yeah. With rosés, I'm very careful because even though I love them, when I order them online, sometimes they bring me pink, sweet ones. So that's a no-no for me. For me, it's a no-no. Yeah.
Hold on. Can I share with you how I buy wine? Let me grab some wine real quick.
Okay. Hello.
Okay. I'm not afraid to admit this. I like red wine and I'm getting more into red wine. But how I buy wine is I literally look at the labels and where they're from. So
okay, that's good then.
I look for I try to imagine like another country and like what I want to drink Bordeaux because it's France. And that's what I drank when I was in Paris mainly. This one is from France as well. And I try to get like South American ones. I try to do ones outside my own country because then it's more imaginative to me.
Yeah.
But then the labels, I try to find the most like regal looking labels. Yeah. Like the most simple and like elegance. That's literally how I buy wine. I don't look at the ratings or anything.
Because you don't want to buy a wine that has a cartoon in the label.
Yeah.
Or a weird
like it's all busy and like it's not my style. Yeah, so I try to like minimal regal designs.
Well, in my case, I have now like an Aperol open.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, switching gears again. We don't have too much time left. So this is a question I love asking people. What are you curious about recently?
Oh, okay. I think that is a question mark for me is the dynamic in relationship. What I mean, not girlfriend, boyfriend. I mean, like how people are going to interrelate themselves when this pandemic is over, when we are completely back to normal, because a lot of things have changed. Even how you date, how you go
Yeah.
out, how you book in a restaurant, something like all these dynamics that we used to have granted before. And then basically we're coming to an end, like all these restrictions. But then again, I can see like we are in a complete lockdown. I'm completely sure I can put my hands that on next Monday, London is going to get a new lockdown. The last, I hope, because this week all the restaurants have been closed, and then most of my friends were canceling on dinner parties because they had COVID. So many people had
Oh
COVID
yeah.
now. The Omicron. So that's a thing that I'm curious to be about. What is the impact that this 2 years of solitude has had caused in the single guys, girls, also the single people? Was the new manual or guide for the single ones after pandemic? The pandemic kind of interrelationship.
What would be your guess as to what happens?
For example, when the restrictions start to ease a little bit, you can see something like people were thinking like, we just passed the apocalypse, so we need to go and mingle really quickly, and we need to commit really quickly because I don't know what's going to happen in the next months. So you can see a lot of people promising you the world. Yes, I like you. Let's going to have dinner tomorrow. My parents are coming next week. I wanted to meet them. And then suddenly, out of the blue, as it's an overwhelming thing, they are ghosting. So there was a lot of ghosting, and there was a lot of apocalypsing. I don't know if the word is apocalypsing, but
yeah,
there was like
what would you say, calypsing?
Apocalypsing, like apocalypto.
Oh, okay. I got
Apocalypsis?
you. Yeah. So you're like, yeah, the world is ending. We should get together. Let's fall in love. Yeah.
And then it's like, no, I'm getting attached to you too quickly. I better disappear for a while. And then, as I always say, like every man, I say man because the woman, every man appears replying a post on Instagram. And it usually happens because men that goes without being kicked away, he comes without being invited. So it usually happens. It's a rule. It's a really nice rule.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't
And not
you think
with women, but with men it does.
Yeah. Okay, so we're all in this time of solitude. Wouldn't you think that it would give people time to like get to know themselves a little bit more and understand what they want? You're shaking your head no.
That's a theory. It should happen. You should be you should embrace yourself and say, okay, I'm here alone. I should understand how do I feel. No, I don't think that's a practice. I think that's a theory. No.
A theory that can be practiced though, if one chooses to.
Yeah, but I don't know if the practice make the master here. In this case. No, I don't think so.
What's something that excites you over the next 2 years?
Writing. What excites me is publishing my second book, perhaps a third one next year. So I'm looking forward to having a few months of a lot of solitude and writing.
Yeah. What will these ones be about?
The second one that I have it almost done. It's about it's 4 seasons. It reminds me a lot of the structure of the Gilmore Girls reunion or something like that. There was a TV show, you know, the Gilmore Girls, but a year ahead, something like that, because it's about 4 seasons in the pandemic. In my case, it's in the pandemic. So I have like 6 characters, which are me, my best friends, and we go through all our emotions and anxiety, because in this year I see a lot of job related questions here in London, for example, which is a city that had 10 million people, and then suddenly 700,000, really bad with the numbers, with the explaining the numbers, went back to their homes because of Brexits and because of COVID, just in London.
Yeah.
So you can see like it's a place where people are here for a while, like for a second, and then the next year they can be back in France, Germany, Spain, wherever they live and they're from. So there were a lot of question marks. Should I stay here? What is my purpose in the city? Should I go? What's my purpose in life? So there was a lot of questioning, and then meeting people, and then the apocalypse, because when you suffer is because you had unmet expectations. Another economic so for example, you're expecting something from someone, and then the other person is expecting a different thing. So when these are not met, anxiety comes along. So I think it's the year of anxiety. So I'll talk a lot about anxiety there.
You kind of said something profound there. Like, so you think suffering is caused by unmet expectations?
Of course, because you put on a pedestal the idea of a person you're meeting, and perhaps the person is a disaster, but you think he's a hero. And I'm
Yeah,
sorry if I say he is because I'm talking about myself as a girl,
sure.
like a hetero girl. But what I mean is, or a guy can say like she in a pedestal, but is you just put in the person is perfect and it has zero flaws, and then you start rationalizing all the red flags because you think it's perfect, and at the end it's horrible and it's not, and it's a disaster and it's not good for you, but you just think it's good for you. So you
Yeah.
think you like it and you think it's perfect and it's going to work out. And then you can change the little things, and it's impossible to change someone. It's easier to change the person to a different one.
Yeah.
To go to the next one. That's easier.
Okay, I have one last question. I know you got to get out of here pretty soon. So what exactly is your writing process like?
Depends on my feelings. I'm joking.
Okay.
Yeah, but for example, for my book, I was lucky because I was working hand to hand with a coach. That the coach was kind of a discipline for me. So he was telling me every Monday, like, okay, you need to send me your new chapter. Why have you write this? What's the purpose around here? And then if there was a week that I told him like, oh my gosh, this week I didn't prepare anything. Are you losing interest? So then I feel guilty, and I was like writing.
Yeah.
But nowadays, as I have two columns, so to be honest, on Monday, Tuesday, I start thinking like, okay, I need to think what I'm going to write about this week. And the words come easily. Sometimes the hardest thing is to define the concept or the theme about the week column.
Okay.
So I try to be out a lot so I can have a lot of stories. And I'm asking always, I'm the annoying person, the obnoxious one asking like, how's your love life? you know?
So you feel by going out you can gain stories then to help you writing.
Of
Yeah,
course,
for
because I'm
sure.
always asking. I'm always asking, and I ask them, "Hey, tell me about your love life. What's the latest, I don't know, heartbreak you have, or tell me about your. Are you using apps? How do you find it?" So I try to grab information, and but basically I write about a lot myself, but with different names. But yes, I do. I going out talking to people. Then also I have a lot of friends and people I know that they just text me and say, "I have a new gossip for you, so you
Ooh,
can put
some
it in your column."
information. That's
Yes.
helpful as a writer.
Completely. I love that. I love it. And I feel validated also.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Where can
Thank
people
you.
learn more about you and read your writing?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook, but where I always share sorry, my links of my two columns. You can find my book, which name is Fábulas Urbanas, but just in Spanish, in Amazon worldwide. Uh, then I'm right for the magazine Cosas, which we're Peruvian newspaper and a Peruvian magazine, the Hello Magazine of Peru. But I think if you just follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you're right. You're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
This
you.
has
It was
been
so lovely to speak to
fantastic.
you. Bye. Thank you.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.